Rod, a frustrating afternoon here at Chippenham Town after what was a pretty controlling first half, a couple of free goals in the second half, turned things around for the home side. How do you feel after that?
Yeah, listen, Ollie, it was, as you see it yourself, it was definitely a game of two halves. Obviously, we were the better side first half, and they were certainly the better side second half. As you say, I thought we started really well considering the circumstances of getting here at 2:30. Bombing down with hailstones, which was a bit mad. But listen, fair play to the referee and Chippenham for allowing us to have a late kick-off. We got into the game. I thought we'd done well. I thought as much as we were very well sort of possession-based, we played a lot of good stuff. We moved the ball around well, but we wasn't clinical enough. I don't think we really worked their keeper enough, other than the goal, which was a set piece and a scramble. I don't think we really sort of, for the amount of possession we had, I think we made it fairly easy for them, really. I think we could have had a lot more activity in and around the box. We never done that. My most disappointing, really, for the second half display was everything we more or less spoke about. It's how they scored their goals. We spoke about if we get the opportunity, we've got to be clinical. Birch goes through. Literally, just got to pick somebody out and finish it 2-0. The game then would be totally different. On the back of that miss, they broke on us. We also spoke about if they get in our halves, we've got to make sure we engage, because on this pitch, a good strike can beat the keeper from 25, 30 yards. Didn't do that. And the first strike was probably about 35-yard strike with the wind assisted, which we didn't do enough of that ourselves in the first half. Never had any initiative to shoot from distance in this wind and these conditions. And then also the third goal, we don't stop the cross. It was a cross and flew in the back of the net. So when you look at them two goals that put us 3-1 down, two of them were basically wind assisted. But if you allow people to put crosses in the box and you allow people to take a touch and basically tee the ball up and shoot from 35 yards, anything can happen. So disappointed with that. As I said, we had to defend better in our box. The fourth goal, I just think, was just heads were gone, and we'd made substitutions, and listen, they literally come alive second half, and we went in there at half time thinking, well, as long as we keep our shape and we're better with the ball going up the hill. They just smashed loads of diags second half, just kept trying to get their wing backs in really high, but as I said, the goal that they scored on their left hand side was definitely a cross and flew in the net. But it's one of them days. I've just said to the boys there about how I felt we managed the game. Second half was poor. We just let them off the hook, and we didn't have an answer to come back to it.
We've spoken about character a few times since you've been there over the last couple of months, and how good that character's been. This is a test of that now, isn't it? Good Friday, 6 days to prepare for the next game back at home against Dover, and it's about bouncing back from this, isn't it, and showing what we're made of, because it's only the second defeat in 13 games. Yeah,
listen, you're gonna lose games, and this is a tough place to come up. If you actually look at their record at home, I bet it's very good. It's a very tight pitch. He's got the slope, he's got the wind. I don't know if they've got a wind machine at the back, but it felt like trying to get up the hill second half was unbelievable. But yeah, it is a tough place to come. But I'm more disappointed with really just some of my players. Really, I just thought we overcooked things in the first half. I just want us to be a bit more ruthless, a little bit more up, back, through, and play as a team. I think we get ourselves in good areas, and we always want someone who wants to be on the ball and make it look pretty and playing a load of angles and shapes. No end product. I always talk about boxing. We like a boxer who only wins the fight on points. But we need to try and win the fight on knockouts, and then if we don't, then we win it on points. And I felt today we never looked like we had that knockout punch for us. We just, as much as first half we dominated it, second half we just got done on real basics and a little bit of fortunate of them having two strikes, fortunately one from 30 yards and one was a cross, but they go in. And this is a day like today. I said as the day started off today, we've had a nightmare. We got here at 2:30 and we've had all of that, so it's just been a bad day at the office. And we now got to get back to winning ways. And I always try and say my teams don't lose 2 on the bounce. Now we've got to make that happen at home next week. 2 tough games, one at home against Dover and then obviously one against Maidstone. And derbies are never easy because it's always got a bit of added spice to it. So we've got to pick some points up there. People tell me that the points went for us today, but I'm not interested in that, if I'm being honest. I just want us to do our own jobs. And as I say, after the circumstances and looking at the first half, I thought we'd done well. But second half, They just done the basics well, and they gambled with a couple of shots on target, and they come away with a win. And their 4th goal, I think they probably put about 20 passes together before they scored it. So, obviously they can play the game, but I just felt that if we'd have scored that one when Birch went through, it's got to be a goal, and that's what I call cutting throats in both boxes, and we never done that, and it left us open to being 1-0 up, and in the end, that chance cost us, and we lose the game 4-1.
Thanks for unlucky to